So in a moment, we're going to be having a debate on how the left wins back power. But before that, I'm delighted to welcome our first international address from a good friend of the UK in the European Parliament, one of the Social Democrat group vice presidents. She's going to speak to us for a few moments about the relationship between sister parties in the UK and elsewhere in Europe. Please give a very warm welcome to Katarina Barley.
Hello, dear friends. I don't know if you can hear me. I think you probably can't see me because Zoom tells me that you won't let me in. So please, whoever is the host.
We can hear you, Katarina.
Yes, if your host would let me activate my video, you could also see me. So as long as this is not happening, I just would like to say thank you for the invitation and thank you for giving me the opportunity to salute you and to strengthen our bond, our partnership, our cooperation in these very difficult current times, in the times of crisis that we are all facing together. And as we see that the British government, the current British government, is struggling so much, and we see more than ever that we need Labour power, then we need Labour in power. And so I'm very grateful that for this event, Pathway to Power, you agreed to have me just giving you a little welcome address. Because of course we are watching what is happening in UK. We are, of course, still very sad that the relationship is as bad as it has become. Oh, here I am. Hello. It has worked now. So yes, we are very sad that the relationship between UK and the European Union is as bad as it is. That is, of course, because Tory governments have messed it up completely. For me, for us, this is, of course, one of the biggest reasons to wish Labour in power, to re-establish a good, friendly cooperation between UK and the EU. I'm sure we are all convinced that this would benefit all of us. And then the second point that I just wanted to mention briefly is that we feel you, we feel for you, because it's not so long ago that we had our election. And I was very impressed by the agenda that you were having by really describing the pathway to power, and just really one or two brief reflections on how our pathway to power went and how it went, why it went well. And I think it's really very few points that are important, and that is our experience. And the very first one I would put as a former Secretary General of my party is a united party. And I'm so glad to see how Labour is doing, and that I was in Liverpool at the convention to see the spirit and the conviction and the confidence that Labour will send this Tory government that has been governing for far too long in pension. Yes, and that is the one thing that the party is really on one hand united and on the other hand representing this very confident, convicted attitude. And I'm so glad to see how you are doing this. And our second lesson that we have drawn for our election campaigns in the future is really to focus on very, very few core issues. For us, it was housing, it was pensions and care, it was minimum wage, and it was environment. Environment might surprise a bit because it sounds so abstract, but it is not. It is something that a lot of people care about, but they wonder, especially now in these times of crisis, how should I do this? I mean, I don't know how to pay my energy bills. Maybe I've lost my job. And this is why we in the European Parliament keep saying that environment is like a watermelon, environment policy. It's green from the outside, but it has to be red in the inside. So it has to be led by social justice. And I think this is really what we have to do. And our main key word in this election campaign was respect, because it's really about the people, the normal people, the families, the pensioners. It's about everyday life. And we still like your slogan, for the many, not the few. We are using it internally because I think it really sums up what it's about. And so finally, of course, the one thing that is important is that you have the right leader. And it couldn't, I think, especially in these times, you couldn't have a better front runner than Keir Starmer, representing everything that the country needs at the moment. It's competence, it's experience, it's this sort of coolness, may I say that, being always cool-blooded but not cool-hearted. And most of all, it's trustworthiness. If anything has been damaged by these Tory governments, it's really trustworthiness, I guess, domestically, but also internationally. And you need, and we need, someone you can really rely on. And this is what Keir represents for me. I was lucky enough to meet him several times. And so I see the whole package, and I'm so glad that we will have, as the next government, a Labour government. I'm absolutely convinced, and I wish you all the best. If there's any help you need, any support you need, we will always be there to do everything you want us to, because we all need a change in Downing Street 10, and we're really looking forward to working with a Labour Prime Minister. Thank you very much, and good luck for your convention.
Thank you so much, Katarina. Thank you so much, Katarina. And with that, we move to our session where we will discuss how Labour returns to Downing Street.